Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom, brought to you by Homefront: The Revolution. It's time to talk Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 with Dino, producer on the game.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. You're taking us back. All right, let me ask you this. Are you taking me back to my glory days of college playing?
That is what we are
Tony Hawk's
definitely hoping for.
All right.
I spent a lot of time playing Tony Hawk in, well, high school and college. I'm pretty sure one class I never actually went to because I played too much Tony Hawk.
It's
so
worth it.
way worth it.
Yeah.
Way worth it.
So what can we expect here?
So you can definitely expect some really classic Pro Skater, iconic gameplay, classic Tony Hawk controls, as well as maybe a little new twist with 20-player online multiplayer.
The game is coming out next month, right?
Yes, it is.
And you guys just changed the art style.
We didn't actually just change it.
Okay.
It's kind of like a sum of a bunch of progressions. We've had kind of a vision even from the very beginning to kind of come up with this, kind of brighter, more focused art style that kind of accentuates and goes with the fast, fun, frenetic, arcadey gameplay of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
I see. So is this going to feel just like the Tony Hawk we remember?
I believe so, yes. It feels a lot like the one I remember. So there are a couple new mechanics, right? One thing that people are starting to kind of try and get used to is the grind button is also a slam button now. So when you're in the air, if you press triangle, it kind of slams you down, like accentuates gravity a little bit, brings you down a little bit quicker. The nice thing is it's really useful for, let's say you're going to sail right over a rail and you want to land on front of it. You hit triangle, you land a little bit quicker, off you go, off to the races, right on the middle of the rail, right on the front of the rail, and grind right out.
Are the environments all new? Or are there any levels that we're gonna recognize?
So we do have a couple of levels. Long ago there was this one demo disc that I believe I got from Pizza Hut, I think.
Wow.
And it had one level on it, and we played it over and over again. And we do have one level that's kind of like an homage to it. It's almost like a love letter to the original warehouse. We call it the bunker. So what it is, it's almost this kind of combination in Franken level of both the warehouse and the hangar. But it's really reminiscent of it. The minute you drop in, it feels and looks and it just plays so familiar. It's just, it's like rediscovering an old toy.
It must be cool to go from playing Tony Hawk to making Tony Hawk.
It actually is. It's really astonishing. So we also, I got to meet with Tony Hawk and watch him play Tony Hawk, and we hung out at D3, and it's I swear, if 20-year-old me knew that I would be with Tony Hawk as he was playing Tony Hawk in Tony Hawk, I would have my mind blown right there, I'm pretty sure.
Tony Hawk Inception.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Hawkception.
And now what about the multiplayer mode?
Multiplayer mode?
Yeah.
Well, so it's actually a really interesting way that we're approaching it is that all of the levels are hosted on dedicated servers, right? I mean, of course, if you don't want to play online, that's totally fine. You can drop into a private match and you can play by yourself as well. But all of the levels by default, you hop in, they're online. It's dedicated servers, so the levels will be there long before you get there, and they will still be there long after you leave. People will be playing. You've got 20 players simultaneously all hanging out and having fun in this free skate mode where you kind of get to know the level, get to know the layout, maybe find a couple skate letters, put together some combo letters, find a hidden DVD or even a hidden VHS tape.
I see.
So.
Can you actually interact and play with each other? Can you play a game of horse? Is that a thing?
Well, horse not so much. It was really tough to get that to work with 20 different players.
Right.
But yes, you can definitely play a bunch of multiplayer modes. Actually, even missions. So the missions are the main campaign progress, right? So you go through this kind of like the career mode, oh, hey, get a high score in this, do this, collect these, do these, right? Kind of like those old school reminiscent missions of the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. Right. You can do them yourself, or if you have an Xbox Live party or PSN party with you, you can do it together co-op. So we can play through the entire mission, all these missions together. But let's say I feel like I'm better at Tony Hawk than you. I can challenge you to a mode.
You probably are.
Maybe. I've been playing kind of a lot of it. And I can challenge you to a mode. Yeah, absolutely. And it would just invite everybody that's in the free skate session, and they can all, decide whether or not to accept or decline your challenge.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite new feature that you've added?
Favorite new feature? Well, it's kind of subtle, but one of my favorite things to do is, so it used to be once you filled up the special meter, it would automatically consume, right? So no matter where you were, you could be in this awkward spot where you didn't want to use your special or do any really super cool tricks. Now it's manual, right? So I can hit it when I want, I can save up and, head onto the half pipe for that super big Christ air or something like that.
Cool. Yeah. Dino, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is out next month. Stay tuned, more to come from IGN Live at Gamescom after this.